Hey team, I may have accidentally somehow ended up at a bookstore on the way home from work. So before we start this episode of The Commute, I thought I'd show you my very quick haul. I went in for one book, by the way, but I had to check to see if they had Whirlwind in stock by James Clavell. I think it's the last book in the Asian saga I need, and they had a copy of Whirlwind for $4. I don't own my own copy of The Hobbit yet, so I grabbed a copy of The Hobbit. Yep. As I said, I went in for one book. Now, this caught my eye. Originally, this book called Dynasty caught my eye, and it's by Robert Elegant. Elegant. And I had a Google. Apparently, what this series... Oh, Google's going. Stop listening to me. Apparently, what this series did for Hong Kong is like what Shogun did for Japan. So apparently they're excellent. I had a very quick read on Google. So there's Dynasty, Manchu, and Mandarin, which are apparently the 3 books in that series. So, Chinese historical epics. This is the book I went in for, The Pillars of the Earth, which I got for $5. And honestly, this is terrible. I don't own my own copies of these yet. I'm actually borrowing my parents' copy. I saw the most beautiful hardbacks of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I may have got those. The thing with Xanadu is the books are so cheap. So I got all 3 beautiful hardbacks. They're 8th impression, so they were printed in 1974 for 15 New Zealand dollars. So beautiful hardbacks, all in their lovely dust covers. Look at how well taken care of these copies of Lord of the Rings are. And I just couldn't pass it up. They are in beautiful, beautiful condition. And it's such a premium printing. So yes, I may or may not have went in for one book and walked out with several. And I'm a very slow reader. I'm very good at collecting things. I try to be minimalistic, and then I walk into second-hand stores. But yeah, this is why I refuse to buy books new. Like, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful hardbacks. I love old things. But yes, I'm very pleased. I've been recommended Pillars of the Earth. Apparently, if I liked Shogun, I would like this. So, yeah, I never need to buy a book again. But I will find myself back at this shop very soon, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to the Hong Kong Dynasty series. As I said, Google says it's like Shogun, but Hong Kong. And Whirlwind, which will be excellent. Set in 1979, actually. Still part of the Asian saga, though. So yeah, I spent 39 New Zealand dollars today, and I'm a bit of a cheapskate, so I don't know. Right, onwards and upwards. Xanadu's actually closing now. Gosh, I need to get home. So, welcome to The Commute. If you're new here, my name is Michael. I don't impulsively buy things all the time like that, but as I said, I thought I'd test my luck, see if they had Pillars of the Earth, and they did. Which meant that I ended up walking around for 20 minutes. Always on the hunt for some good historical epics. That's the thing that I'm into at the moment, I'm finding. And that's James Clavell's fault. Asian historical epics, I should say. As I said, stuff like Shogun. Apparently, Musashi by Eiji Yoshikawa, I believe his name is another excellent Japanese historical epic. Oh, you couldn't have indicated any sooner, buddy. That would have given me time to get out. This is a horrid junction, this. East Papamoa has some really tricky junctions, I've got to say. Oh shit, he's turning, yeah. That lady flashed me to go too, but that dude turned at the last minute. Ugh. Right, there's a gap on my left, no gap on my right. We're here for a while, team. We're in it for... Oh, and you... Why didn't you indicate sooner? I could have taken that gap. Okay. Come on, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. BMW, no, I can't. Ah! Right, there's a good gap from the left. There's a good gap from the right. I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. It's me. Woohoo! We got out. Gosh, what a junction. Wow. Did I even do my introduction? I don't know. Welcome to the commute. This is my daily drive home from work, where I spend 20 minutes chatting to you, having a catch up, talking about a topic sometimes. It's like a podcast, but in the car. My name's Michael. I'm a school teacher. It's Friday. Welcome to the commute. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, so it's Friday, end of the week. We've actually got a really lovely night ahead of us. So Georgia and I are making cannelloni tonight, and her parents are coming around to our place. So we do cannelloni stuffed with spinach and cream cheese. I know people have made cannelloni in other ways, but I think that's the most common way of making it. It's lovely, it's absolutely lush. Smother it in cheese, smother it in tomato sauce. Beautiful. It's, yeah, you can't go wrong with cannelloni. It's one of my favourite pasta dishes. And then, my brain's in Friday mode, it's shutting down. And then we're going to a musical. So tonight we are going to see Rent. I think it's the second to last night it's on. So we caught it just in the nick of time. Which should be good. Georgia's really looking forward to it, and I think I'll enjoy it as well. I love a good musical. I was real bummed that I missed Madagascar the musical. They put it on at Bay Court, and I thought that would have been so excellent. But yes, it is Friday, and my brain's gone. School's been good. School's been good. Okay. Morning was pretty chill. We, as I said, it was my last day outside on my out the front rotation. So during learning through play, all the teachers are stationed at different areas. So it was my last day out the front. So I had one last good jam with the kids, because I've been putting all the instruments outside so they don't disturb what's happening inside. And then maths was pretty much just revision. Honestly, it wasn't anything too new. However, so we've been doing compositions up to 5 this week. It's getting kids to connect the concrete, so using blocks, to the abstract. So we were working with 2-dimensional dots, which took a bit of time, but the kids got it. And then for structured literacy, again, it was just revision. It's Friday for me to assess what they've actually retained and remembered. So A, E, I, O, U, M and N, and then my reading groups, again, revision, seeing if they are ready for what I've planned for next week. They are. I've got one student in the Rolling Stones, so I've named my groups the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. One student in my Rolling Stones group is reversing her letters, but not in the way you'd expect. So normally kids write letters back to front, I have a kid writing letters upside down. And I was like, what? So I actually went to my team leader and I was like, what would you do in this situation? How do I teach them not to do their letters upside down? So I hadn't seen that yet. So that students learning is one of my projects, and making sure that the letters aren't... It's interesting that their brain is doing that. I just didn't... Yeah, I didn't quite expect it. So I had a real good sit down with my team leader, and she said, to stop that happening, you need to anticipate the mistakes, and before they happen, you need to stop the child and then correct them before they've even done what they were going to do. Oh good, we can do it next week. I've missed a messenger message. No idea what's happening in the chat. So yeah, that's reading next week. We didn't get around to phonological awareness. It's Friday. It's been a big day. And then we did cross country. I attempted to teach my kids, can't remember what the actual name of the game is, but you call out rabbits and then the kids chase their buddy, try to tag them. You call out foxes, then the rabbits try to catch the foxes. Tried to teach my 5-year-olds how to play that for the first time. Took a lot of patience, but we got there. And here we are. It's the end of the day. I'm tired. It's Friday. Yeah. Woo. Let's have a listen. I might turn it off.
Sophia Bradley said, "Okay team, I didn't end up booking a table for the quiz because I don't really know what is happening.
Oh.
I also don't have Kindo." Then, Jasmine Campbell said, "All good, we can do it next week. There is still 23 tables. I'm keen, just have to get back to you, sorry. Do you want to reply?"
No, thank you.
Alright.
I love the Google Assistant. Isn't she clever? How cool is that? Now I've finished Obscured by Clouds. Don't want that. What shall we end on? Do I want some Eminem? Probably not. Madness, Maroon 5, Moby might be good. Let's go with Hotel. Great album. Good Friday album to drive home to. Never more, nothing less. Couldn't see what I'd guessed. Couldn't see, I couldn't stay away. Never even started dreaming that I'd see anything. And the world's just coming out so cold. Oh, and it's raining again. And on the call line, bored on 10. Oh, and it's raining again. Wind pulling me in. Nothing more and nothing less. Nothing this. I adore Moby. If you haven't heard of him, he was a DJ in the 90s, and then he started putting out some absolutely incredible stuff in the early 2000s. And this album's called Hotel, and it's fantastic. Same with 18. 18's my favourite album by Moby. It's perfection all the way through. Play is his most famous. I also think Destroyed is really good. And his real recent stuff, he's done Resound and he's redone a couple of his famous songs in 2 albums. He did Resound, and I've got the other one on vinyl. What's it called? It's not Relapse. Resound, Resync? No. Gosh, what's it called? Anyway, his real recent albums have been super as well. He's done a couple songs with people like Gregory Porter. which you wouldn't expect, and they're amazing. I wonder if I've got that downloaded. I only have a couple things saved as MP3 because I used to be an Apple fanboy and I had everything on iTunes. And then I bought the Galaxy Fold because I was intrigued by, you know, the fact that my phone can fold in half and open up. So I've got a Fold 4, but it meant that I couldn't use iTunes anymore. So I had to convert all of, well, not convert, but your computer does it automatically. I had to extract all of my iTunes files as MP3s and put them into folders, like old school digital music, so that I could get them on my Galaxy Fold. And now I have to play them through VLC, through a media player. But it meant that I could keep my iTunes music, which was cool. So I quite like having music without having to stream it. It's just nice to know that you actually own it. And that's why I liked iTunes for so long, because you actually owned your music. It wasn't a subscription. That was so loud. Oh, I need cash. Oh gosh, there's a lady dropping off a coffee table to our house. Wow. Okay, so here's another story time for you. Goodness me. Me and Georgia have been on the hunt for a cute little side table to go next to one of our occasional chairs in the lounge. Very boring, but we found this beautiful, I think it's mahogany, vintage table on Marketplace. And I believe it's an older lady selling it. She's called Judith, so, you know, older name, I'm sure it's an older lady. Anyway, I said to her, really interested in the table, because it's beautiful. Beautiful old stained wood, handmade, gorgeous shape. And we thought it'd be a lovely side table to go next to one of our chairs, just for people to put their drinks on. And we said, really interested in the table, can pick up, happy to pay the $40, 40 New Zealand dollars. And there was a lady that came to view the table before us, and Judith said, oh, a lady came to view the table, so I'll just hold off, see if she gets back to me. And Judith, lo and behold, I've messaged her every couple of days, said, any update on the table, because she was holding it for this lady. So no, the lady still hasn't gone back to me. And usually if someone doesn't get back to you on Facebook Marketplace, you just sell it to someone else. And so I held out because I knew she was, you know, a bit older, and she was being really lovely actually and waiting for someone, because she said she'd hold it. Anyway, a couple days went by, then a week went by. Judith said, no, I'm still gonna hold it, because I said to the lady I'd hold it for her. 2 weeks go by, and Judith is still late. The lady still hasn't gone back to me. I guess at this point the table's yours. And you know, I held in for the long game because I wanted that table. It's beautiful. I love vintage stuff. I really like old things. I refuse to buy new things. As I said, if I can give something a second life and a second home, I'm gonna go for it. And why spend like $500 on a cheaply made table when I can buy something from, say, like the 60s that was handmade, or not necessarily handmade, but made to a higher quality. That's my same deal with secondhand books. Like those copies of Lord of the Rings. Beautiful, beautiful hardbacks. So I'm chuffed with what I've got. I need to stop buying books. Georgia's going to be so annoyed at me. Why did you buy more books? Because I still haven't finished Shogun. I'll do that tonight. I'll do some more reading. As much as I try to be a minimalist, when it comes to certain stuff like this, I'm very good at collecting. If it's cheap and it's second hand, I'm like, why not? Why not? and I end up with lots of books. Especially when, like, if a book's part of a series, if the whole series is there, I'm like, why not? Why not? You know, when am I going to find the series again? Great song, this. Plain talking, take us so far. The lights are turned green for me, thank you. Strung out old stars. I'm so glad it's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already. It's freaking Friday. Truly, this week has just disappeared. Time moves by so quickly when you're at school. Great song. Ready? Lift me up, higher now I'm now. Lift me up, higher now I'm now. Lift me up, lift me up. Playing talking. It's such a good song. Moby, if you ever watch this, I love you, man. Thank you for your music. I can't explain how much I love Moby. Such an excellent musician. And he's an animal rights activist. He's a real cool guy, Moby. He's got a podcast as well that he does with his friend and his dog. It's actually just announced a tour through Europe. Not through New Zealand, unfortunately. I don't know if Moby would ever come to New Zealand. But God, I would drive to Auckland to see Moby. Or Wellington. I'd go anywhere in New Zealand to see Moby. Lift me up, lift me up. Lift me up, lift me up. I think he'd be a real cool guy to meet. He's very down to earth. He's also, he gives me socially awkward vibes. Like, I don't know if he'd want to meet fans. Because I've read his autobiography. I've read is it called Porcelain? He wrote two. He wrote Porcelain and then he wrote Then It Falls Apart. And I've read the first one. I think the first one's called Porcelain. And the vibes in that, I don't know if he'd be too keen to meet fans. Not sure. I mean, I think he'd still be like very like, wow, it's awesome that you love my music, but I feel like he'd also be like, go away from me, I don't want to talk to you. But yeah, amazing guy. As I said, animal rights activist. He's got his own podcast. Super down to earth and chill. Sober. I don't think he drinks or anything like that. And as I said, he's produced some exceptional music. He can play just about any instrument. He's amazing. There is a dog crossing the road. Better not run that over. Okay, I'm basically home, team. What an odd episode of The Commute. Yeah, started by impulsively buying books, and here we are. Have a fantastic weekend. Love to you and your family and your friends. I hope you have something to look forward to, something to make you smile, and I'll see you probably on Monday. If the episode's rubbish, maybe not. Oh, okay. Bye, team. Ka kite anō.